in court. Attorney Jaye Person-Lynn is at the San Bernardino Justice Center courthouse for what he believes to be routine business. He never imagined that the day would go so horribly wrong.
Jaye Person-Lynn has been an attorney in California for more than 10 years. He's handled 250 cases.
The reason he was in court that day is because he was there to change a hearing date for his client. Now, he didn't have on his regular suit and tie because he thought he would only go to the clerk's office.
To his surprise, he's actually directed to take care of his business in the courtroom.
As soon as Jaye enters the courtroom, Deputy Paul Berry is right on him. Like, do I know you?
I say, no, but I'm here to speak to the clerk about one of my cases. He says, well, you have to go back there, and points to the gallery area of the courtroom.
That's the area behind the bar where everybody sits, where all of the non-attorneys are.
I say, well, I am an attorney, and at that point he says, well, you need to go speak to the bailiff.
Person-Lynn approaches Deputy Sutton.
She says, sir, you see that bar right there? Only attorneys can pass that bar. I tell Deputy Sutton, I am an attorney. I'm here to speak to the clerk about my case. I reach in my right back pocket where my wallet is to pull out my bar card to show them the proof.
And Officer Barry immediately grabs him and starts pushing him out of the well area.
I go to walk around him. He steps back in front of me and pushes me back again. While his hand is on my chest, I brought my hand up showing his displeasure but did not use force to actually push his hand away.
Maybe they could have just told him, take it a little slower.
I had never been shoved, grabbed in a courtroom.
Once again, Person-Lynn tries to tell the deputies why he's in court.
I'm an attorney. I'm an officer of the court. I'm here to talk to the clerk. Okay. That's what I'm here
What
for.
are you here
To talk to the clerk.
about? What case?
Not anyone. It's not a social hour with the clerk. We gotta figure out what you're doing here.
So Attorney Person-Lynn already knew why he was in court. He was trying to articulate this to the deputy, but the deputy was having none of this. The question that begs to be asked and answered is, would he have treated Attorney Person-Lynn differently if he hadn't been a black man?
You can step out. Step out.
I'm not going to step out. I'm in the Denver. It's 27 cents.
You cannot approach the clerk.
Okay.
That's the rule of the clerk. Do you see that? Do not approach the clerk. Okay, so step out and then get off your side.
You can see Deputy Paul Berry is actually reaching for a taser and placed it behind his back.
So why are y'all picking out
Because you're not listening.
As the situation starts to unfold outside of camera view, it's clear that Person-Lynn is completely frustrated.
So what's your client's name?
I have a case number, NFB 1802035, and I'm here to talk to the clerk about it.
MSB?
Swearing at the deputies, telling them that they've effed up, really doesn't help his position in that now he has found himself acting from a position of emotion.
And that's when it escalates to a 10.
While he's tackling me, I felt the shock from the wires on the taser. And so I just go down. It was shocking. Like, is he really doing this? I couldn't believe it.
Using a taser, I believe, was excessive in this situation.
The deputy looks to be senior, tenured to me, and what he does is creates an audio recording that will capture what's about to happen next, which will ultimately create a reason for Attorney Person-Lynn to be tasered.
They're telling me you're coming after me and you step up on me. You understand what I'm telling you? That's a threat. You know? You're gonna go to the building or you're gonna keep resisting?
At that point, I'm handcuffed extremely tight. I was bruised long enough to have bruising and scars for months.
Even though Jaye is finally able to prove his law credentials, Deputy Berry is not charged with excessive force. Instead, Jaye is arrested.
Jaye is charged with obstructing an officer in the performance of his duty, and it's based on the moment at which he reaches for his ID card, and the deputy basically stops him from doing that. And to get away from the deputy, Jaye Jai basically touches him. And that has turned into some sort of physical altercation or act against the deputy, resulting in that charge. Ridiculous.
I signed the citation, and that should have been it. They should have let me go there. But instead, they wanted me to suffer the indignity of actually going to the jail and being booked.
After the arrest, the prosecutor's office could have easily dropped the charges, but they don't. Why would they waste time and resources on this type of case? Nobody knows.
What makes this case so ironic is that attorney Person-Lynn is known for defending cases that involve racial profiling and bias.
Growing up, having those personal, direct experiences, driving while black, pulled over, stopped, pulled out of the vehicle, the humiliation and degradation felt is the main driving force why I stuck to the plan of becoming a criminal defense attorney.
Over a year later, in September of 2020, Jai Person-Lynn goes to trial. He is convicted of obstructing or delaying a police officer and sentenced to a year probation.
I thought my law license empowered me to go and speak to a clerk about a case that I had in that courtroom. I now know that is not the case as I sit here right now on probation for going to do my job.
Even though the sentence itself was just probation, Jai is appealing and should.
I believe this was a gross injustice. You have Person-Lynn being arrested. I believe that was inappropriate. Then you have him being charged and ultimately brought before a judge in a trial. All of that ended up with a year of probation. All unheard of in this type of situation.
Person-Lynn is currently suing San Bernardino County, as well as Deputy Paul Berry, for excessive force.
The physical scars have subsided. The emotional scars, I'm not sure. I used to wake up every 4th of July and read the Declaration of Independence because I was so proud to be American. I'm hopeful that the civil suit, as well as the appeal, will provide some sort of vindication, but what was taken from me can, never really be given back.